So in 1989, I was selected for the British and Irish Lions tour to Australia. And as the tour started to be mentioned more and more, you suddenly realise as an international rugby player playing for Scotland that, hey, we had a chance here. So when the letter, and note these days it was a letter, came through the post, it was just it was fantastic, and we realised that my brother Gavin had also been selected, so we were over the moon with that. Ian McGeechan was the coach, along with I think it was Roger Utley, and I'll never forget just sitting in the changing room, looking at that red jersey for the first time, the badge. Clive Rowlands was our manager, again an ex-Lion himself, a Welshman, and he talked throughout that tour about what it meant to play for that badge. And for me, those are the memories that will really stick there. As the tour went on, it just became such a fantastic occasion. I was, of course, we were all amateurs in those days, so I had to ask for 8 weeks off work, and off I went. The tour had been very, very successful up to that first test because we'd won every game. We were full of confidence. I was hoping to be involved in the first test, but I had a slight hamstring twinge, and I didn't want to risk playing. And I knew I just needed an extra few days rest. And Australia came in that first test and absolutely hammered us. So it was what then happened was the Lions had a midweek game before the second test back up in Ballymore in Brisbane. And we played against ACT, Australian Capital Territories. And we were down at half time. But we came from behind, and I scored a couple of tries in that game. The test team who hadn't been playing applauded us off the pitch, and at that moment on, you realise the strength and the bond of the whole squad, because suddenly the tour was back on. We'd been under pressure. So when I was selected to come in as part of those changes, there was 5-6 changes. I was partnering Jeremy Guscott in a new midfield alongside Rob Andrew, and the Lions needed a reaction. And that second test has gone down in sort of Lions folklore as the Battle of Ballymore. But without doubt, we were there to do a job at Ballymore that day, and we were all fired up. And when you look round a dressing room of 15 fantastic players, brilliant rugby players, very committed, wearing that Lions badge, wearing that red jersey, it's something totally unique because it's never going to happen again in your life. To go out onto Ballymore and square the test series in a really hard-fought game, and those games will go down in folklore, especially the second test, an extraordinary experience. But to win the final series and the final test match and be part of that winning series, it really was just a fantastic occasion. In 1993, again, there was a lot of anticipation, and the one of real significance and of history and of fantastic culture is undoubtedly a Lions tour to New Zealand. For that tour to happen, and I think it's important you get selected in the first game because it allows you to put down that marker first. It allows the team, the touring squad, to get off to a good start, and we arrived about an hour and 10 minutes before the kickoff. There was 20,000 fans already in the ground waiting. And of course, there's no pre-match entertainment. It's just, let's build, let's come and watch the Lions play against Northland. And my fitness was pretty high on that too. I was sharp, and I remember scoring a try in that particular game, and Stuart Barnes was involved. I think Rory Underwood had a hand in it, but I was looking really sharp, and I was really up for it. I was then involved also in a Saturday game against the New Zealand Maori team, and we were down in the game by 20 points to nil at half time, and we came back and won that one. I think it was 24-20. And that showed the strength of the Lions, because the Maoris were almost a New Zealand, the All Blacks team. And Zinzan Brute was involved, Stu Foster, the scrum half at the time, and they threw everything at us. But we were playing in Wellington, and we came back from behind, and we scored some fantastic tries. And it just showed you the strength of that Lions tour. And when I got injured, I was gutted. Suddenly, your tour's over, like that. You know your life dream has gone. You can't play for the Lions against New Zealand. You're going home on your own. And it was a long, painful journey. And I must say, it hurt. It really did hurt. there were pretty low times, but you look back and it's the high times, it's the good times that you always look back on. You put the low times to the side. And I think that's what makes the Lions such a special environment to be part of. My favourite time in a Lions jersey was undoubtedly in a changing room just before you going out to represent some fantastic players. And it was always about who you represented from previous tours and teams and some of the famous names that wore the jersey. And I often say that when you're outside looking in, it's fantastic. So you're a spectator at 80,000 people at a World Cup final, on a Lions Test series, it's fantastic. But when you're inside looking out, that experience is just totally unique. And for me, the third Test match against Australia in 1989, it was so tight. It was tight as a piano wire. And, the Lions had to fight for every sinew that day. And I pulled off a tackle in midfield against David Campese. That I really enjoyed doing. But when that final whistle went, just the sheer joy of winning a Test series. And what people forget is that Australia, 2 years later, with literally the same team, went and won the 1991 World Cup. So they were a good team, Farr, Jones and Liner. There's some fantastic David Campese and real standout world-class players. And it was a tough game. And we came away and the history books say the Lions won 2-1, and to be part of that was very special.